My God, I hate trucks.
And it's time to go home and I'm so tired. Ay, nako, minsan ang feeling ko parang giyera ito talaga. But I would like to be able to explain some things because this thing of due process keeps going on again and again and again. And so I want to say again that the the mining audit is that we do the investigations and we put out a team which included a mining engineer, which included government, which included a barangay captain, which included DOH, which included water experts, NGO, ganyan, multi-sectoral. We had like 7 or 8 teams going around, and then the result of that investigation is we gave each mining company this. That's the system. Then at the end of this, within 7 days, they have to reply. So when they replied, kailangan we should investigate the reply to look kung totoo ang sinasabi nila, ganyan, ganyan. And then after that investigation, then we included there is we sent a committee, that 7 or 8 committees made up of DNR, different departments, to see kung totoo ang sinabi nila or hindi. Then after the end of that, then I make my decision. And that was the decision where we decided to close down 15 mines because they are in watersheds, 7 because heavy silting in Sorsogon, and also because I said, let Sorsogon and Dinagat rest naman. Now, I have the money to create a green economy and do jobs, and we're doing it now so that nobody suffers. Okay, that's number 1. And then the second thing that I want to be able to address is this thing of mine closure leads to job losses and suicide. Hindi sila nagtatrabaho ngayon kasi yung mining ay seasonal, hindi araw-araw yan. Kung umuulan, there's a season for mining. When the sea is rough, they don't mine. So now is not the season for mining. So actually now, wala pang nadismaya, wala pang nahamak dyan. So we want to create a green economy where everyone has a job every day of the year. And we have the money to do it. I have 3 billion pesos for Caraga. I read in the newspaper that the president is giving 2 billion pesos. Today I met the heads of Green Climate Fund and they will be giving us $300,000 this year, and we are trying for $100 million every year. There is money. The thing is, we need the honesty and we need to handle it well. Now, on the issue of the suicide, I'm so sorry that, that suicide happened. The suicide didn't happen because I closed it, no? The suicide happened on September. But that's the point I'm driving at. For that one loss, that suicide, we should look at the 7, yung 7 people. Maybe let's pause it. But we have to look at the number of people that have been devastated by mining. In Zambales, it's 2,500 that have been devastated. There have been 7 deaths last year because of floods due to mining, and that's why they filed a writ of kalikasan. 6,800 farmers from one mine in Dinagat, 1,480 from another, 3,110 from another, like 15,000 from the mines in Dinagat. And we should also look at the number of children who have suffered because of the mining in the watersheds of Marinduque. It's 17 years and there are still children suffering from brain disease. Ano mang buhay nila? You're thousands of farmers that are still suffering because of what happened in Marinduque. How about them? In every place where there have been mines, the thousands of people that have suffered, and yes, there's some people that benefit, but is it correct that a few people benefit at mas maraming nagdudusa? Parang mali ata yan. So I feel the way for our country to move forward is lahat may pakinabang. So I just want to put things in perspective. It is not my intention to create death, but I really don't like suffering. And when we see this death, we should look at all the other people that have been devastated because of irresponsible mining. This is Valentine's month, and it's all about love. And you must love enough to do, you must care enough to do, and that's what I'm all about. If I say I love and I care, and I know that people's water resources will be affected by some extractive industry, it is my duty to say, hindi yan pwede. That's what I'm doing. So again, in Valentine's month, mahal na mahal ko kayong lahat. And let's keep the light shining for our God and our country. Mabuhay kayong lahat. As you all know, I have truly rocked the boat, but I want to give another side to it. Okay, one of the main complaints is the number of people that have lost their jobs. As far as I know, mining is not a labor-intensive industry. It only gives 0.6% of the total employment in the country. In the study done in 2014, and this is government data, it's 235,000 jobs, and that's the entire industry. So I honestly don't know where they're getting the numbers of 1.2. What I do know is that for how many people are adversely affected by the closure, there are so many more people that have been adversely affected for decades. We cannot and we must not build an economy where some people benefit and everyone else suffers. This is not the psychology we need to bring our country forward. So, and the other thing I want to say is that, you know, when we close down the mines, we're not going to leave them alone. Hindi naman sila iiwanan. My experience is that a green economy creates many more jobs and is much, much more sustainable. I mean, I have communities earning 30 million a year, 40 million a year. And in the Yolanda area where we invested in ecotourism, in less than a year, they've gotten the money back and they go up to the millions of pesos in terms of salaries. So we have choices to make. And if you have beauty there and you ravage it by something destructive, what will you do? You've killed the opportunity, you've killed the future of that place. So I hope that settles it in terms of the economy, because at the end of the day, how are we benefiting from all of this? I really don't think we ever benefit from the destruction of the environment. Okay, number 2. Next, when the miners come and then they say that, they have the 4.2 billion, or they spoo off all these other numbers, I am sincerely asking them to look at the other side of the equation. You're just looking at the benefits. Did you look at what was needed to give you that kind of money? Did you look at the social cost? I know for a fact that wherever there is mining, it creates social unrest. Because there's some people that benefit and many others who don't, and they fight. And families that used to love each other begin to fight each other and even kill. We have had deaths because people fight. Is that the kind of society we want to have? So why don't you value the social cost? And why don't you value the economic cost of giving you that 4.7 billion? And why don't you value the opportunity loss if we had done something else there? I debate the fact that mineral land can only be used as mining. That's not true at all. I have friends who have mineral land and they're doing agriculture, like really, really good agriculture, like earning hundreds of thousands every week. And that's what you want to do for them. I truly feel that the only way our country will come up is if we nourish and take care of the resources that are there in a way that benefits everyone there. And I feel the extractive paradigm where you get from there and you don't care if people suffer is not good spiritually, and it's certainly not the way our country is going to come up. And the numbers show wherever there's mining, there's still poverty there. And I have been able to alleviate the poverty in certain areas on the second year, on the second or third, fourth year. I mean, their lives have come up. I don't give any scholarships, but they have the money to give scholarships. So I'm not don't want to fight against the mining industry, but you really cannot have mining in watersheds. So for the mining companies that have passed, I want to work together with them so we use their SDMP funds to create what we call an area development effect. so that when they leave, the people can still earn. Because the way it is now, you give money for scholarships, and when you leave, who's going to help them? Will they have the money for scholarships? What will you do? They should make their own money, and we should make the land productive. And killing the rivers and seas is not the way to do it. We've been mining this country for 100 years. We have nothing to show for it. Okay, there's some mining companies that have done rather well, and I want to work together with them. I don't want to fight with anyone. Okay, but you must tell the truth. If you say this and this and this, then give the total picture. Don't just give one side of the picture. It's Sunday. I love you all. Have love in your heart, and let's bring this country forward. Bye-bye.